Today, doing a reinsurance survey of a 38-foot steel yacht built in Germany. I'm here on the port side, down by the central keel section, and I've taken some ultrasonic readings, which you can see behind me, but I also thought it'd be a good chance to demonstrate some of the different sounds you get when percussion testing a steel hull. Percussion testing is a sort of a bit of a black art, really, where if you hit something with a hammer, you put energy into it, and some of that energy either comes back to you, gets absorbed by the material, gets produced as sound, and then what's left is what we call the return. And depending on how good or bad the steel is, that'll determine a lot of the sound and the feel you get when you strike it with a hammer. Good sound steel should kind of ring a bit like a bell, a sort of a dong, dong, dong sound, whereas thin steel will sound like you're flicking an empty baked bean tin. Tunk, tunk, tunk. And what I've got going on here is several things around the sort of the build section which kind of give us very different sounds. It's very clear to hear them. And there's kind of three things I'm going to show you. One, the change from solid ballast sections to hollow sections. A very easy way to identify the frames. And also, when we find poor readings on the hull, and I've marked those here in crosses, where I struggle to get readings, that might suggest some corrosion internally. So we'll listen there to see how the sound of the steel changes in relation to other sound steel around it. So here we go. First sound is the transition from solid to hollow. Very clear sound difference there. Number two, the transition where you go from plain steel plate to where there's a frame internally. You can see I've marked all the frames on the boat with white chalk lines because it helps me develop a picture in my head of what's going on inside, where the tanks are, where I might find corrosion. And the same works with the stringers running horizontally. You'll often find those will come out quite clearly because they're fully welded inside. Third sound I want to listen to is where I can't get readings, and I've got some reduced readings, does the sound of the steel change sufficiently to give me cause for concern? So this is sound plate. The change in sound there is partly because this is the large, deep build section, so the acoustics are better. So there's more of an echo to it. Not much of a change there, which is encouraging. And then if I carry on down, do we still get that solid transition? For this percussion testing, I'm using a lightweight pin hammer, which is perfectly adequate for this job. If I was looking at a rusty old barge, I might want to get out my bigger hammer, the barge hammer, a 2-pound ball peen hammer. And if I'm doing the top sides of a boat, I might use this with a bit of cloth wrapped around the end, or I might use my Nick Faldo, a golf ball on a drumstick. Any tool will work for percussion testing. It's the person at this end of the tool that makes the difference. But just for demonstration purposes, let's try this on the steel. With a trained ear, you can still hear the changes. It's just not as effective as the pin hammer. And if I was to get the really big hammer out, it would make even more impact. But there is a risk of doing damage to the epoxy coating on this boat, which I'm reluctant to do. Percussion testing is a really great technique to master. You can use it on steel, fiberglass, wood, pretty much any material. Try it around your house. Get something small like a little pin hammer like this, or make yourself one of these. Very effective. It's about picking the right hammer for the job, hitting it with the right amount of force, and then listening to the results and working out what you can conclude from that. It's a great technique. I advise you all to give it a go. So there we go, percussion testing. A simple but effective tool. It's a bit like having a portable x-ray machine, I often describe it as. Anyway, hope you found it useful and informative. Take a look at this video here, where we found thin steel on a narrowboat during a survey, and that didn't bode well. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.